Let's look at the big picture now with some analysis from ABC News contributor Matt Dowd. And I want to first show some of these entrance polls we had last night, which give some insight into that heart-mind dilemma I was talking about with Mitt Romney. He got trampled in the very conservative vote in Iowa last night, losing to Rick Santorum 35-14. But then if you look at those voters who say they want to defeat President Obama, he wins big right there. So overall, is this tie last night, close win for Mitt Romney, good news or bad news for his staying power?
Well, I think it's very telling, and it tells the story of this entire race, which is the voters have been looking for a candidate that both is conservative and authentic and electable and competent in office. They can't find one that is both. And they'll have Mitt Romney, who's looked as very electable, as you say, and is competent and can be commander-in-chief, but many voters, conservatives, don't think he's authentic. And as other candidates have risen to try to capture that, they've fallen on one of those two attributes. So the voters are still looking for a candidate or somebody, and maybe Rick Santorum is it.
Well, that's what I want to ask you about, because he came out of nowhere. He did it the old-fashioned way. Every county, visited every county in Iowa, all 99 counties, but he doesn't have a lot of money yet, doesn't have a big organization, and at least the Romney team has thought that he really can't go the distance.
Well, that's this interesting thing. You can rise in this race, interestingly, without a lot of money and without doing a lot of resources, but can you stay in this race? And none of the other candidates, the other five, Michelle Bachmann, Rick Perry, Herman Cain, have risen, but they haven't been able to have staying power. And that will be the test of Rick Santorum. Can he have staying power past New Hampshire, South Carolina, and Florida?
Meantime, the other big question about what this all means for the general election against President Obama, because what they're banking on is that the Obama campaign is a long, bloody fight for the Republican nomination.
For the person to be beat up by the time they make it to the general election. But what happens, we don't know what's going to happen with Rick Perry. He says he's going to go home and he's going to assess.
I think we kind of do know.
Well, yeah, he pretty much has said, but he hasn't officially said it, Matt.
It's code.
So when he and Herman Cain hasn't endorsed anybody, Michelle Bachmann did not have the showing that she wanted in Iowa. When these candidates start dropping out, who does it help?
Robin, that's interesting, because I think the quicker this field winnows, the more trouble it is for Mitt Romney, because he hasn't been able to close the deal on conservatives. He needs to try to do that. He needs time to do that. If these candidates, Rick Perry drops out, Michelle Bachmann craters, then it's a problem, because then those could go to Rick Santorum or they could go to Newt Gingrich. So the smaller this field gets, the quicker it gets, is more problematic for Mitt Romney.
The anti-Romney vote coalesces. In the meantime, you've got Newt Gingrich out there firing at him every single day. I'm sure we're going to see a lot more of that in the debate Saturday night.
I know, and now we've been talking about Iowa for so long. It's like, yeah, now we have New Hampshire and moving forward, and you're going to be there.
We'll be there Saturday night and, of course, Sunday morning on This Week as well.
All right, so you are going to be very busy this week.
Busy week, busy times, exciting times.
Yeah, it really is.